Hi, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper, back with another unboxing, and this one's going to be fun. This guy was from Texas, and he went to, I believe, the 1969 National Scout Jamboree, might have been at the 67 World, and then also attended the 71 NOAC. So he hit all these big scouting events during his time. And what he was doing, of course, is what I did when I went to these jamborees when I was a kid. I traded patches. And so his collection really is a time capsule. He has all these items that he traded for. He's kept them safe all these years, and especially Order the Arrow patches were some of the things that he was trading. Obviously, at the 71 NOAC, that would have been a little easier. He really was too early to kind of get into the Council shoulder patch phase. I know a lot of people that went to later jamborees might have got caught up in that, but CSPs were not really a thing in the 1969, 1971. So he kind of stuck with what he knew. I'm looking forward to opening this box and sharing the history with you. Now, right here on the top, you can see there's quite a lot of neckerchiefs, and that was another thing that I liked about this collection, that this guy had, I believe, served on camp staff and had some cool neckerchiefs from that time period. So I'll definitely want to show these to you. He also has some neckerchiefs that are still in the original bags, which is always very cool. And there's even more neckerchiefs down in there. And then also you can see the scattering of patches here, which at some point he did put in some Ziploc bags. So that's super nice. So we'll pull these out and we'll, of course, show everybody those as well. Now, again, I said he was from Texas. And so there's going to be some pretty cool Texas stuff in this collection, but also that he was going around trading patches. So that's another theme of this collection. So, all right. Boy, I tell you, these have a little age on them, and you can't smell through the screen here, obviously. But these have been sitting for a day or two. But what I usually do with neckerchiefs like this is sometimes I'll soak them in some soapy water and then iron them and get them all refreshed. Definitely ironing them will help a lot. So let's go ahead and see if we can unfold these and see what we've got. So this is pretty uncommon. You got a troop neckerchief, and so back in those days, scouts would have worn neckerchiefs, and so to have a troop neckerchief, this one is Troop 226 from Waco, Texas. That's pretty cool. And then this one here, Big Bend, 1968. This might have been a district within his council, the Sam Houston Area Council. He's got a couple of those. Then Longhorn Council, Scout Camps. And then see this guy. So this is his lodge. You'll see some patches from Lodge 578, Hassani, and they were the host of the 1970 Area 9B conference, which would be like today's conclave. 69 Jamboree. I'm pretty sure that he was active in the 50s, so we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I could have gotten that wrong. Great Western Tour. Hey, one of my employees just came in. Great Western Tour World Jamboree 1967, Sam Houston Area Council. So again, Sam Houston. And then you've got this 67 World Jamboree neckerchief. A lot of neckerchiefs, which is cool. Another camp, obviously from Texas. Camp, oh boy, these Indian names. Tahuya. Well, somebody can correct me when they see it. All right, fold these out. Another troop neckerchief. This one also from Texas. Troop 241, Bay Area Council, Lamarck, Texas. Beaumont, Texas. This looks like maybe another troop neckerchief. Troop 281. Here's another one from that same troop we saw earlier. Troop 241. We've seen this neckerchief before. We're getting down to the bottom of the neckerchiefs, but there's still a lot to go. All right, turn this way. This is your standard Wood Badge participant neckerchief you wore when you were going through Wood Badge before you finished your project and got your beads. And then again, that camp that I won't try to pronounce, also, of course, from Texas. So this might be something that was traded for to Jamboree. Burt Adams, this is Atlanta Area Council, 1967. Let's see what we got here. Camp Erlin staff. So I mentioned that I think he worked on camp staff. At least I knew that there were some camp staff neckerchiefs in this collection. And there's one right there. Here's another one, Camp Edgewood camper. This is your standard BSA issue. This one's from Denver Area Council, Camp Tahosa. Erland, which is a camp in Texas, I'm almost sure. And then that same camp we've seen several times. And then here's an Order of the Arrow neckerchief from Lodge 113, Winapa Hinsa. Another camp neckerchief here. So it's like a district neckerchief. Yeah, Sam Houston Area Council Voyagers, West District. I'm not sure what this one is. I've seen this before, Conestoga. I'm not sure if that's a camp or a district. Oh, guess what? It's a camp because there it is, Camp Conestoga. And then Nietzsche Lodge, again, another Texas Order of the Arrow Lodge. And it still goes. There's more. There's more. A lot of neckerchiefs, which again is really cool. I love neckerchiefs. Uh, Buckskin Scout Reservation. This is in West Virginia. This is a staff neckerchief. My relatives went to the Buckskin Scout Reservation doing scouts. My uncle was a big scout leader, and all my cousins were Eagle Scouts, and my brother was as well. Nietzsche Lodge. That's a lodge there in Texas. Nice pie. And then two more. We've seen this one before. It's a district neckerchief, and then this guy here, Pirtle Scout Reservation, also in Texas. Oh, I lied. There's more. A lot of neckerchiefs. Repeat of a troop neckerchief we've seen. And then here's some that are still in the original. People call this a wax paper bag. So this is pretty cool to get this Nietzsche pie in the original bag. We saw one that was worn, and it's got here on the outside, it's got a little name written. Not sure why, but anyway, someone's name and address is on there. And this one's still in the original one. And then here's a Lodge 44 neckerchief. That's from Pennsylvania. Another one here. Here's another Pennsylvania Lodge 44. 71 Conference, Erland staff. So I was definitely wrong earlier when I said this guy was from the 1950s. Is all 1960s is what I'm seeing, but that's still all good. So I'm thinking he definitely went to the 69 Jamboree because and probably the World Jamboree. If you look here at this guy, this is a Region 9 neckerchief, which Region 9 would include Texas. And people who went to the World Jamboree would have worn this. And this was the souvenir neckerchief for 69. So that all kind of tells the story. But again, more staff neckerchiefs, which I think is pretty cool. And then 71 NOAC. So seen a couple of 71 NOAC neckerchiefs. So maybe he also attended that. Well, here's another clue. He attended the 71 NOAC. He's got like 3 or 4 neckerchief slides from the 71 NOAC. So that's pretty cool. Put that back. And then we'll pull these over. So if you were a scout in that time period, you would have just possibly been at the leading edge of when they came out with council shoulder patches. So prior to the 70s, they had just red and white strips or red and white council strips. But this one here from Three Rivers, for example, he doesn't seem like he has too many as I glance over. But this one would have been a very early council shoulder patch. Of course, those were made in large quantities, so they're not particularly scarce. We've seen several neckerchiefs that go with that guy. And then here's just a little event patch. When you're trading in a jamboree, what I have noticed in buying collections from people is there's some lodge flaps that sort of like everybody traded for. This is one of those. And so I've seen a lot of these. This is a lodge in New York, and it's pretty common to find those. Here's a lodge, though, from the South. And that's one that's more interesting. And then here's one from Hawaii. So this probably would have been a hard one to get at the Jamboree just because I know people from Hawaii and Alaska and Puerto Rico, their flaps are a little more exotic and they don't have as many people at the event. So that one is from Pennsylvania, I believe. I think this is an Ohio one. This is from Maine. There's 2 sewn ones in this bag. In fact, this one's got a little bit of something going on with the back of it. But this could have been his lodge. We've already seen the pie from 36 Lodge Nietzsche that he probably wore, and then we saw one in the bag. So there's 2 sewn flaps here. These could have come off of uniforms. And then this guy here, this is from out west. This one's from Ohio, Tamagonet. Ashy, this is another really common one that a lot of people traded for at jamborees. So see a lot of these in collections. I imagine whoever the guys were in some of these lodges, they just cleaned up because they must have had lots of duplicates at their lodge, and they could make it trade real easy. Here's again another one from his lodge that's a little bit better condition, and this one from California. That one's from California as well. Again, he took good care of these. Got them all individually bagged up, which is cool. Again, some that I've seen plenty of. We saw this lodge from Pennsylvania just a minute ago. Little camper patch. And then, so Lodge, we showed you the Nietzsche, so they merge, and then the new Lodge that's born out of that is 578 Hassani. So this would explain why he has quite a few of these, including this really, cool, interesting design with the feathers, and this one has buttons on the back, which would be a clue that he wore that, snapped on a shirt. I guess the button would be so you could take it off, almost like today people might have Velcro, like for military stuff. Then again, trading around, like here's one from North Carolina, Okinichi Council. So definitely 71 NOAC. This is probably where a lot of these things were traded for, if not at the 69 National Jamboree. And I think we saw this neckerchief for the 69 conference that they hosted. And then a few more here. This guy here. This one's from Arkansas. This one's from Louisiana. A little more Pennsylvania, Texas. Again, 71 NOAC. That's where he was doing this trading. And then another one from his lodge. I'll have to look up and see what the yellow border stands for. And then he has a lot of this for this kind of first issue from his lodge from where they merged. So that's pretty much it. Other than his, there's an ordeal sash here. Oh, cool. Signed by the founder of the Order of the Arrow, E. Henry Goodman. So my guess is Goodman would have been at the 71 NOAC, and that's where he would have gotten this sign. So for me, this is a super cool collection. Again, as somebody who went to a NOAC and was trading, likely was also at the 69 Jamboree and maybe the 67 World Jamboree. So did a lot of trading and brought all the stuff home. Took really good care of all these patches. They've been safe for a long, long time. And now I get to go through and organize all this and add it to my collection. So if you were in a similar situation, you have a Scout memorabilia collection that's been sitting in a box for decades and decades, I would love to talk to you. You can reach out through my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find everything I'm doing in scouting and connect with me. Thanks very much, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper.